Good morning, everyone. Who made it to our morning party? Who's in here? First, gotta make sure you guys can hear me okay. Jules gave me a mic check, but that was a few seconds ago. Get my gross, dirty glasses on. Jennifer's here. Shani. I gotta send out your merchandise this week, Shani. Miss Bree, I haven't seen you in a while. Miss Linda, hello, Connie. Insanely Confused came back. Insanely Confused, which I am too. I'm insanely confused myself. That should be my name. I was speechless yesterday. I don't know if you saw my post on the members tab on the channel about Bildo and Lilani. I said, this can't get any worse. This is as bad as it gets in life. It can't get any worse. Yet they make it worse. I'm referring to the clip I'm going to play in a little bit from Chronicles of Olivia. Not going to lie, I've probably watched it 555 times. Of old Lilani and Bildo coming out of the fence. Like cats in heat. Couldn't believe it. Good morning, Jen Bug. Kat's here. Kat's getting ready to go on vacation. We're very jealous. JTB made it in with her phone that's almost dead. Elizabeth, Texas Tiffany, Christina. Christina reminded me also because I also put a post up about one of my favorite fragrances from the 90s, Malibu Musk. I'm hoping it makes a comeback. It's perfect on humid days. Christina reminded me that makes me old. That's okay. April's here. Hello, Boo Sheet. Where's Aggie? I haven't seen Aggie this morning. Where's Summer? Says, you keep me sane through all these cases. Buckle up because I'm about to lose it, girl. I'm one clip away from being in a straitjacket. Janae made it in. Hello, Nini's here. Fun to Ski. I was going back and forth with Fun to Ski. Shep's in. In the comments, I put a video up. Something else that's upsetting me this morning. I need to get a damn life and quit worrying about this stuff. Anyway, the pickaxe wielding bitch in California. If you didn't see it, it's on the channel. I thought this was something that was getting ready to come out on Netflix. It had Ryan Murphy written all over it to me. She has on a kind of a, I don't know. I mean, looked kind of like I thought she had a witch's outfit on or something. And she's walking down the sidewalk, kind of like Billy going to approach Diana, only she has a pickaxe. And she's breaking out this family's windows. The mother-in-law's home, 6-week-old baby. And the powers that be in Pasadena, California, charged her with, which should have been one of the many charges, vandalism. Okay, I'll give you vandalism. $20,000 worth of vandalism. I can think of a lot of other charges they could have put on her there. Put on her. The news anchor, I don't know how they kept a straight face or how they did this cast, considering they live in Pasadena as well, without just being all kinds of mad, all kinds of pissed off. I don't live there and I was mad. And they were like, and she's having a like some sort of like mental break. Mental illness break or something. I would fix that for her with that pickaxe. She wouldn't be worried about mental health if she had done that to my windows. Insane. Go check it out. It's not, I got to find out if these people know each other, if she wanted to buy that house, what is going on? Because as she's walking off, like the Terminator, she said, I'll be back. Well, was she going to get another pickaxe? Did that one break? Insane. Yeah, you guys go check it out. Leave me a comment and tell me what you think about it. I really want to find out why she went and did that. Because I don't care about her mental break. I don't. And I don't care about Bildo and Leilani's mental break. So as we know, they're protesting outside the house, exercising their constitutional right. And I guess mother and daughter, like mother, like daughter, or as I call them, drinking buddies. Drinking buddies is what they are. Billie does not want to lose her best friend. She doesn't want to lose her drinking buddy. It's going to be a sad day when Leilani goes to jail because that's her drinking buddy. So they're in the backyard and they're getting taunted, I guess. They don't like it. Leilani decides she's going to go get her a piece of this woman that says she's going to make her into a squirt of ketchup. I heard something about ketchup. She really thought she was going to get a piece of this woman. Where Summer said 2 hoes in a pod. Hang on one second. Now we know Danny's not around there. He's in Hotlanta playing pool with his friends. Where's the man of the house? Where's the man of the house? He was in the backyard when they were fighting, and WSAV had it on their evening newscast. It was kind of the first, I guess, taste of Leilani and Bildo that we got, because they're in the backyard screaming at each other. And that's when we heard Leilani say, "My kid's gone, leave me alone." So here came a male voice. I'm just going to assume it's Billie's Facebook husband that came out and said, "Cool it, shut up. The neighbors can hear you. There's a news camera 500 feet away." I don't know. So what's going on now? Who thought this was a good idea with the protesters out in the yard or the street for them to try to confront any of them? It's insane. It's insane. It's also insane that it's almost November 1st. I also have that written down. I don't know why I have in big letters November 1st. Anyway, crazy case, crazy people. I also caught this morning, I was listening to Court TV from last night. I didn't see Dolly on there yet, so I haven't got all the way through it, I guess, or I missed that part. I don't know. I'm going to play part of that. Who saw Court TV last night? Because the reporter, of course, we're going to go through it together like we always do. We have to be here for each other with this craziness. Yes, Christina, November 1st. That would be why I put that down. Thank you for the reminder. Christina is playing secretary today. She reminded me about the significance of November 1st, and she reminded me this morning that I'm old because I like the fragrance Malibu Musk. All right. The reporter said she went and spoke to Diana. Diana did not want to be on camera because it's caused her a lot of problems. Doesn't really matter now, Diana. Everybody knows who you are. They know where you live. They know what you look like. But anyway, last night was not a camera night for Diana. Diana shows her the phone. She goes into how she got the text that morning. I heard 5:29 a.m. I've heard 5:29 a.m. and 5:39 a.m. Yes, the 10 minutes does make a big difference. On Court TV, now this is not The Sun, this is not People Magazine, this is not the Daily Fail, who doesn't even know that Quentin is 20 months old. This is Court TV. A lot of their reporters are attorneys. They understand the importance of details. The reporter said the text that morning came from Leilani. I was like, what? Leilani? Leilani? And I was waiting for her to say, they have proven it came from Leilani, even though it was from Danny's phone. No, from Leilani. She said, I saw the phone. Now, unless this reporter just really screwed that up, somebody today is going to have to say something. I went back through the first time we heard from Diana on WSAV. She said, I got a text from Danny. Her first Facebook Live, when she said, do you guys want to go through the timeline again? Or she was asked to. She said, I got a text from Danny. Court TV last night said that text was from Leilani. That is huge. That's huge. So a few of you heard it too. We're going to hear it together. Also, we had some awesome comments as always. Those of you that don't catch us live and you listen to the replay, thank you for leaving comments because, well, it's like you were kind of there with us in a way. But there was one comment in particular yesterday that really blew my mind. I've also got Jules backstage. Link is pinned. Do not forget, if you want to come up and talk, that's where it's at. It's pinned. So hang on 1 second. We're going to go through the comments. Okay. Thumbelina said they're setting up reasonable doubt. I agree with Thumbelina. I think they are repeating a lot of things that they hear the protesters say, like a woman who can't have children. They've heard sympathizer. I think they're going through the Dawn Wells school of how to pretend your child was abducted. They're regurgitating what we say. I agree with that. I think that the interview, if you want to call it that, in front of the garage with like mother, like daughter, was nothing more than to make actually both of them look nuts. Success. They look crazy as hell. Makes me sick. Makes me sick. Give me a second. I have to breathe. It's the pickaxe woman that made me so mad this morning. All right. El Ray says, what is Leilani holding over Billy's head? Now, some of us would say nothing. They like to party together, like mother, like daughter, cut from the same cloth, connected at the hip. Leilani is basically doing exactly what her mother did years ago. It kind of got me thinking, though, what kind of a hold does Leilani have over her mother? She filed to evict her. This was September 8th, after they were fighting over the washing machine. That was on September 7th. The 8th, she wants their asses gone. Billy has said that was just to light a fire under her. The kids would never have been thrown out anywhere, meaning Zane, Quentin, and Sky. But this was to, to read Leilani the Right Act, I guess. But still, she let the Right Act go on for quite a while, well, 8 days, because they showed up at the house on September 16th to serve Leilani. So between that and Quentin being killed in the house, and federal agents looking for him right now in the landfill, what is the hold that Leilani has over her mother that she's still allowed to even be there? I'd want her anywhere but there. You're the police's problem. They can track your ass down. You're not going to be here. You're crazy. Kill a little baby? You've been beating up on your boyfriends? You can't tell the truth. There's no believing you. You can be anywhere, but you can't be here. And I thought about that. I thought, what's it going to take to get her ass away? I mean, Billy Joe already said, my daughter done it. My daughter done it, and she can't remember. Well, just knowing that she done it and that there's 40 plus specialized agents that were flown in from Quantico, Virginia to go through your local landfill, wouldn't that be enough? I think I'd accelerate that eviction with a quickness. You can be anywhere, but you can't be here. And if you take off, whatever, that's the police's problem, but I don't want your ass anywhere around me. Blue Bonnets said, I have bad eyesight. I wish everybody would type in caps. You saying that it's yelling is a stupid rule. Blue Bonnets, I didn't say it's the rule. I didn't say people can't type in caps. I even said that I make the mistake all the time because I'm always at work in spreadsheets. I've got spreadsheets going all the time and I have my caps on. It is kind of the standard rule, though, that you don't capitalize if you're being an asshole to someone. We all know common courtesy in the YouTube chat. Nobody made that rule, but we're all not going to type in caps because you're having a problem seeing. You're going to have to figure it out. All right. I also answered your email about that. Okay. Susan said, Rowena, yes, I heard the protesters say they would search. They would be gagging within 10 minutes. Now, they covered this on Court TV as well, and you can actually see the gas masks and everything that they're wearing. They're there from like sun up to sundown. And while I'm sure people saying, well, let me go search, I'll search for him, is meant with good intent. I'm sure it is. You don't know what you're really looking for. The pictures that we see of Quentin are not what you're looking for. They are sifting through inch by inch by inch by inch of waste. They're looking for any little sliver of him they can find. So while I'm sure it's met with good intent, they're not going to be much help. All right, a lot came up after the show yesterday about Danny. Danny. Robin said, I think Danny was freaked out and in denial, but just starting to realize, and also thought, maybe don't disturb the crime scene. Technically, he did have custody of his baby, or did Diana have custody? Now, the only reason I'm answering this, yes, it's a great comment, don't get me wrong, is because no, Diana never had custody. And I've been hearing that rumor a lot lately. I don't know where these rumors come from, but Diana didn't have custody. Billy had custody of Zane and Quentin. As far as Danny getting freaked out, he probably has every reason to be freaked out. But he still, it seems to me, let her tell the lie that Bubba has Quentin. Of course, the 911 calls, she said she got up, the doors were open, and Quentin only Quentin had been abducted. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. Sweet Magnolia says, I have 3 particular things on my mind because we've already covered most of them. But she wants to know about the drug testing. That's number 1. Yes, from my understanding, and it makes perfect sense actually, yes, they were drug tested on October 5th. Lit up like a Christmas tree. I believe it was said, I do not have a publication or anything. Actually, Jules and I were talking about it this morning. Let me grab her. Tested positive for cocaine and I believe Percocet. All right, so, well, you know where I'm going with that. But anyway, so we get to the argument about the police. Why don't they arrest her? Well, as far as in connection with Quentin, I'm just going to take a guess they don't have enough to. They just don't have enough. They don't have anything ironclad. But it came out overnight from Brett Buffington. He's our JB Buno of this case, if you know what I mean. Investigation, WSAV investigation has confirmed that Leilani, Quentin's mother, is on double probation. Now, one's in North Carolina. North Carolina's not going to come pick her up for popcorn theft, cigarette theft, whatever. So she's also on probation, from my understanding, in Georgia. It's right here on the screen. Well, she failed a drug test. I mean, I guess if you want, you could go nab her on that. I'm just, there's got to be some method to the madness. And right now, all we've got is madness. Let's see what Jules thinks and what she's making of the last 24 plus hours. Good morning, Jules. I said Percocet. Someone said you can't test positive for Percocet. It was opiates. So can you explain? Because I don't know.
Well, it will show up as opioids. I don't know where the specific pill Percocet came in, but it would be test positive under opioids.
So that is frustrating. I mean, she's on probation. She pisses hot, and they could have arrested her, but now I guess they can't. I mean, maybe it's. I have a feeling if they piss tested her right now, she still would.
Yeah, you damn right she would.
I don't know the terms of her probation.
Billy was in the yard 2 nights ago screaming, cocaine eases the pain. Cocaine eases the pain, over and over and over. I guarantee you she's hot.
Oh, I guarantee. And I guess some kids aren't there. They can pretty much do whatever I guess they want to do. I mean, alcohol wise.
Somebody there.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know whose it was. But there was a child there.
I can't get over that shit. I cannot get over that. It's like when Candace, when she started her YouTube channel and she was in the hotel room and there was a kid sleeping on the couch behind her, no other adult in the hotel room. And I was like, who left a child alone with Candace?
My jaw hit the floor.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
And I saw it.
Mm-hmm. Kristen said, yeah, not supposed to have any run-ins whatsoever with the police while on probation, and Leilani is Miss Prime Suspect. Exactly. Just like on September 7th when they were fighting over the damn washing machine, police show up and she says, I don't want any trouble because I'm on probation. Well, what'd Billy do? Billy went to the courthouse the next day and she filed. I'll put it on the screen. She filed to have her evicted. Her, Danny, she says, not looking to be compensated. Just want them to move out as quick as possible. Leilani Simon is my daughter, 22 years old, with her boyfriend and 3 kids. They have damaged my property, and at this point, no one is living in peace. Not looking to be compensated. Just want them to move out as quick as possible. Today's October 26th. Talk about an escalation from an argument. One day we're fighting over the washing machine. The next day, you've got federal agents from Quantico, Virginia, sifting through the landfill looking for your grandson. That's a hell of a 2 months. Don't you think?
Yep.
Like mother, like daughter.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, I just don't even know what to say. All right, well, so she's on probation. They could pretty much pick her up for sneezing if they wanted to. There's got to be some method to their madness. I don't think there's any favoritism going on with her by any means.
She has broken probation in so many ways. They definitely could have put her in jail by now for something, but by breaking probation. So they got to have, I don't know. They got to have some reason why they haven't.
Well, I mean, I totally understand not rushing to charge her.
Yeah.
And putting her in jail for, let's say, murder. Okay, I'm just throwing out a common term. Of course, we know there's different degrees of murder. I get that because, well, like I said, a 6th grade history student could drive a Mack truck through this case right now. There's a lot of what ifs, you know. They're still hanging in the air. What about Danny? What about Danny? How do we know what she threw away in that dumpster is Quentin without you having Quentin? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
But I mean, on probation, they can just get her for a violation of probation. I do see Dawn Wells is still in jail for violation of probation. So if you really want her off your hands and the protesters to stop, you know, stirring up the neighborhood, you can get her for that.
Yep. They could end it by just doing that. They could end all the protesting, at least.
Because they said they're not going anywhere till she's arrested. Joanne said, has anyone been interrogated? Yes, Danny and Leilani, and I believe the brother Paul. I know very early on I heard that Paul also got hauled downtown.
That's right.
Crazy. All right, now I'm going to go through Adventures in the Driveway. Now, what am I hearing? This actually isn't Leilani. This is an aunt.
This is an aunt. Yeah, I was going to tell you that when I had a second before you showed the video. This is, I'm pretty sure, Billy Joe's sister.
Is this the sister that before the kids went to foster care had Zane and Sky?
I do not know that.
Because Leilani and Billy were going over to see the kids and then they got put in foster care.
Well, it's Billy Joe's sister, Leilani's aunt.
Okay. I guess that makes it a little bit better, but that tells me a lot. That tells me a lot. So there basically isn't one speck of common sense
in the family.
Oh, you know what? One of the comments I was going to read and I lost it. I'm scrolling through from yesterday. Really good point. Whoever made this point, email me because I want you to get credit for it. Said they're not outside because the inside reminds them of Quentin, even though it should. Looking at the house freaks me out because you know he died inside that house. They have evidence that leads them to believe that he died inside that house. He is no longer alive. They said they're sitting outside because they're afraid the inside of the house is bugged. They're afraid they're being listened to. That made really good. And I'm not saying that that is what's going on, but I could see that thinking. What do you think, Jules?
I think that the FBI's already got cameras up, and it doesn't matter if they're inside or outside, they can still be heard.
Mm-hmm. I mean, no police officer is going to tell anyone at the local diner, oh, yeah, that house is bugged. You know, that's not. But I could just see them saying, oh, we better sit outside and talk. You know, like Tom Cruise and his wife on the farm.
They're very dramatic people. But that comes along with the drugs that they do, too.
Not that I would doubt that that house is not bugged. It does make perfect sense.
I would not doubt it. But I think they do have cameras up too, like they did with Brian Laundrie.
Uh-huh. I hate to even bring that one up, but yeah, you're exactly right. And what is Billy Joe's sister doing there? Comforting them? Being a support system? You can't support that shit. I mean, my God. They're going through a landfill looking for Quentin, and they're in the backyard drunk? What, hugging each other, saying it's going to be okay? No, it's not. You're going to jail. Billy, you're probably going to get in trouble too. CPS will investigate why those children were left with Leilani. It might take, the social worker I talked to said you may not hear anything about it for a year because it is a slow process, and well, they're slow. Come on.
Not only the cameras, Brooks, but like the people on the street can hear them while they're in their backyard talking. And the drunker they get, the louder they get. So you can hear everything they say.
Wow. Oh, I've heard part of it. Yeah, you can definitely hear them. But here's the thing. People that want attention, they never get the attention they're looking for. They always get bad attention. They always get bad attention. They enjoy it. They're enjoying this. I'm sorry. I think they're enjoying this.
Oh, gosh. I'm sorry. I just glanced at my TV and they're showing the landfill on Court TV.
I know we're going to have to look at it here in a second. All right, let's go through this because I want to hear about this ketchup lady, what she was going to do, who she was going to make into ketchup first.
Go ahead.
By the way, Olivia does really good work. I mean, it really is like a documentary.
It is.
Why aren't you putting flyers out and posters out? Go to 204 and 95. Make some t-shirts.
Why didn't you put out missing posters?
Why didn't you start looking for them?
You can put out flyers. You can put out flyers.
I love this baby. I watch him crawl. I watch him out of water. I bet in his first food. Y'all don't.
Why is she talking so damn weird? You know, when people are drunk and they know that they're slurred, and so they're trying to sound not drunk. That's what this seems to me, because she's enunciating worse than Lindsay Neiman. I taught this baby to walk. I was at his first birthday.
Because she is on drugs and alcohol.
Gotta hear this again. And I get so sick of parents that think because they provided a good Christmas, they can be assholes the other 364 days of the year. I had to hear something the other day. Well, he couldn't have had it that bad. Look at all the toys. I was like, what? That was in a Facebook group. What? Well, you could tell he was well provided for.
Oh,
They're
my.
looking for him in a landfill. That is not well provided for. What?
This is why I stay in Facebook jail.
You're always in Facebook jail. You are. The minute I see you come running into the room, I'm like, yeah, this isn't going to take long. That's why you got to hang out in Discord. There's no Discord jail.
I know.
And you're loving Discord. You say whatever the hell you want whenever you want.
That's right.
But everybody else is the same way. We're all pretty like-minded in there.
Yeah. It's great.
Oh, my God. I taught that baby to walk.
To walk.
Okay, I can see her.
Him his first food.
Oh, my God. Oh, I can see her head sticking up over the gate.
Bring him back.
See that jaw grinding back and forth? That freaked me out with that jaw going.
That was that cocaine.
Well, I was checking my own teeth in the back. It's like she's grinding them off.
Yeah.
Woo-wee.
And I wouldn't say that, y'all, people in chat. I would not be up here saying that. I am an ex-user. I have seen all this before. I have lived this life before, and not that life like them, but I wouldn't say it if I did not believe it. It's my opinion.
Hold on. Leo said, and it is your opinion, Jules. There's no, you don't have to worry about panel jail. I'm not going to put you in panel jail. It's your opinion, Jules.
Okay, thanks.
Leo said she's 45. Now, I thought I had some sun damage going on. God damn, I didn't know that. Actually, I did know that. I blocked it out. Rick's Clicks is backstage and wants to say hi. Hello, Rick. Welcome. Nice to meet you.
How y'all doing?
Pretty good. What do you make of all this? How long have you been following the Quentin Simon case?
Since the beginning.
Good for you. Good for you. What are you thinking?
Well, my thoughts is maybe the boyfriend disappeared so quick because he disposed of Quentin while the mom used the dumpster as a diversion.
That is a very common theory, and I wouldn't doubt it.
Because I mean, they're wasting their time at the dump when he's really somewhere else, is what I think.
I think he is at the dump, and the reason is because the cadaver dogs picked up on his scent. And I guess they can differentiate between like the scent from, say, cleanup. You know, like say he was at one point deceased. Well, we know he's deceased in a blanket, and they just threw that blanket away. The cadaver dogs can differentiate between the actual remains and remains on material. That's just what I read. And I trust the dogs. But no, that's a very common theory. And I wouldn't doubt anything in this case. Well, I mean, if you look on the screen, you see the grandma peeking her head up when she should just be inside with the lights off, waiting for the next day.
I also heard that there's rumor going around that he may have been dismembered, so they may have scattered him in different places.
Again, nothing would shock me.
But I just wanted to drop in and say that, you know, it's been bugging me that they could act so nonchalant about a baby, like missing. Like, I'd be find myself like, I didn't have nothing to do with it. Let's go find him.
Well, I mean, they didn't put up any flyers. Now, her 911 call said that she woke up, doors were open, she believed he had been abducted. We know that did not happen. We know that did not happen. But yet there's no flyers, and we saw the heated mess between Billy and Diana. You know, when Diana said, I'm going to have a prayer circle, we're going to put up flyers, Billy wouldn't have it. This is my baby. This is my baby. My baby's not dead. My baby's not dead. She didn't say she was having a memorial. We're having a prayer circle. We're going to put up flyers. They didn't want flyers put up. Reminds me of some other cases.
Right. Well, what about the conference for the news? We're talking about if I am found to be guilty, I'll take myself to the jail. She told on herself right there. So
I love when she said, and if anything comes up, I'll drive myself down there.
Mm-hmm.
If anything comes up,
that's an admission to guilt.
I mean, you've already broke probation. What else? I mean, that's what's up right now at the moment.
Well, what's up right now too is
till the baby, until they can find something.
Every minute that ticks by, they seem to feel more confident that he's not going to be found. That's what they're praying for. That's what they hope for, that they don't find him. So when Billy said, we hope he's not found in that landfill, she meant that literally. We hope he's not found there. You might as well just take landfill out. We hope he's not found. We hope he's not found.
You guys are just awesome. Like, you guys, this whole true crime thing is you guys are amazing, keeping the light on them, you know, and making them have to fess up. I love it. That baby needs a voice, and you guys are going to be the voice. So,
Sure.
You too, Rick. Thanks for being here.
It's not a problem. I'm trying to get my channel going, but I'm not having no luck.
Just keep hitting it, my friend. Consistency. I appreciate you coming up, though.
Well, thank you. You guys have a blessed day. I'm going to go get a shower and get my day started.
All right. You have a great day.
You too.
Nice to meet you.
Hey, Tracy, what you thinking?
What I'm thinking is, okay, you know how they said with the whole security camera, it was like, what, 2 something to 5 something? The doors were open?
Say that again. You cut out just a little bit, Tracy.
With the whole security, where they were saying that the doors were open from like 2 something in the morning till 5 something in the morning.
Yeah. That's what they told Curtis.
Okay.
So that on the
But
app.
she's saying when she woke up, the door was open and somebody must have took her baby. But then you've got the boyfriend, what was his name, Danny? Saying that he saw him at 6 a.m. That's after.
Oh, I know.
This is not. I truly think that he is knowledgeable of something. Do I think he had anything to actually do with it? No, being that he says he saw him at 6 a.m. and then he arrived at work late at about 6:17. I think she did something to the baby.
Oh,
I really do. I think that baby woke her up and she got pissed.
Oh, for sure she did something. I don't know what her motive would be. If it's I'm going to show my mom, upset about who his father is. I don't know. I really don't. And if Danny basically just didn't tell the police she was lying, then I don't really think he's going to get in any trouble. I just don't know why he didn't sound the alarm earlier and say he's not with Bubba. Because how can she call and report to 911? I woke up, the doors were open, he's been abducted. Okay, nobody just automatically assumes when they can't find their child that they've been abducted. It doesn't work that way. You need help. They had to have wandered off. Oh my God, we have a pool here. The whole 9 yards, something like that. But then she tells her mother, Bubba has him. How can she have all these lies all at once and not be able to keep them straight in such a short period of time?
I don't get how these people immediately claim somebody stole a child. When my children were little, now mine are all adults, and I was a single mom at the time. My youngest was 2.5, and I was in the kitchen doing dishes. And my other 3 kids were running around playing, with the little one and everything. And then I got done with my dishes, and I turned around and I went to go get my youngest, playing with his siblings. Well, I couldn't find him. Yes, I freaked out. I'm running through the house, screaming his name. I'm having my kids run around the house, look at the neighbor's house. We were freaking out. We could not find my child. I called the police and said, my child is missing. He must have walked out the screen door. I don't know where he is. Lo and behold, he went and climbed underneath my pillows on my bed, did not disturb my bed at all. Like, it looked like I had freshly made it, and fell asleep under all the pillows. You don't immediately say my child, was stolen. Yes, you search, and then you call the police if you can't find the child and be like, I can't find my child. I need help. Somebody, you don't know. You don't just jump. And you do it kind of immediately after searching, not hours later.
Oh, I was muted. No, you're right. And it's always an abduction theory with these people. Every time I talked about this, and will continue to, about Summer Wells, when Candace went and looked under the mattress, went and looked under a couple of blankets and said she was abducted. Nobody, how many people in chat have lost sight of your child, whether it's in the grocery store or at the mall, at the amusement park, at your own home? Did you ever assume that somebody crawled in your window and stole them?
No, not.
No.
And mine hid behind the Little Debbie cake rack in the grocery store one time and scared the life out of me.
Right? Mine's hidden in the clothes racks. It's their kids. They're playing.
They're around there somewhere. You yell, and they're smart little boogers. They know not to yell back because they know they could be in trouble. They're like, I'll just hop back up, No, but you don't assume that someone has stolen them.
No. That's not what came to my mind.
Thank you for having me up. I will hop down so somebody else can come up. Thank you.
All right. It was good to have you up. Don't be shy. Yeah. So when Leilani tells 911, and we have not heard the whole thing, we just know what the 911 call entailed. That part of it, at least. Doors are open. She woke up. And her natural assumption was somebody must have stolen him. We know now that she blamed Bubba. It's crazy. All right. So this picture of Billy with her head sticking up over the fence is pretty hilarious, I will say. But what she is screaming back at the protesters as if it's going to make them go away is even more insane than the picture on the screen. Does she really think they're all going to be satisfied with her saying that she taught Quentin to walk and was there for his first birthday? No. She looks 11 foot tall there. Are you looking at that, Jules? Are you that tall? How tall are you, Jules?
5'3".
See, so you couldn't see over that fence. What is she standing on Leilani's back? What's going on? I can't tell.
She is taller than Leilani.
Must be a short damn fence. I don't know. All right, so she has taught him.
That's the gate. That's the gate.
Okay, so the gates are shorter. Okay, I see the fence next to it.
You see what I'm saying? They put something over. That's like a cattle gate.
Mm-hmm.
And the other morning, they put that cardboard or whatever it is on the cattle gate so that you couldn't see through it into the backyard.
All right. Well, I see. Okay. Yeah. Because I see the privacy fence. Man, I don't have very good night vision. All right. I see her feet. She's on her tippy toes. All right.
I love this baby. I watch him crawl. I'm watching them walk. I bet it is first. Y'all don't understand.
What's his favorite food?
Listen, just please give me a chance. The Lord, yeah.
What was his favorite food then?
She wasn't crying that night. She wanted to come in the road and kick people's ass. And tell us the facts and we'll go home. Well, how come the camera's still now, but the cameras wasn't here when Quentin disappeared?
Same with Summer Wells. Don Wells put cameras up after Summer disappeared because he didn't want people on his property. So she says they know all the facts. She said Leilani doesn't remember, but she done it. Leilani said the FBI told her she doesn't remember. Now we're peeking over the gate, looking like a circus freak, saying you don't know all the facts. Who has the facts? Besides law enforcement, you know they do. That's the reason they're in the landfill. They're not going to jeopardize the health and safety of all those agents on a hunch. They're not going to fly agents in from Quantico, Virginia that could possibly get a bloodborne pathogen because they think maybe. So what are the facts? She said Leilani doesn't remember. Leilani said the FBI told her she doesn't remember. Leilani said in her wonderful interview that if something changes and it comes about that she could have had something to do with this horrific situation, she'll drive herself down to the police station. Did I miss anything, Jules?
Nope. Spot on.
Hello, Joshua.
Hey.
Yep, he's not connected. Yeah, that gate, that's kind of a, what do you call that when, because it's so dark, plays tricks on your eyes.
Yes, it's deceiving. Like the people behind it.
Mm-hmm, very. The pattern of speech has really got me thrown off. I taught him to walk. That's not how she talks. We've heard Billy talk many times.
She was.
Go ahead. What?
The guy that keeps asking her what Quentin's favorite food was in this video, he also was closer to the house, and he said that Leilani was telling her to do all this.
Leilani was telling her. What is Leilani's hold on her mother? Leilani is not the one supporting Billy. Billy, to her own admission, is the one with the good job that it provides for everybody.
Right.
Provides for everybody. What is Leilani's hold on her? What kind of blackmail does she have on her mother? Because like I said, they have a fight over the washing machine September 7th. Billy files for eviction on September 8th. She said to light a fire under her. Well, she already filed it. I'm sure she threw it in her face when she got home from the courthouse because it's handwritten. She didn't do it online. but she let it stay. She let it hang in the air, if you know what I mean. The police get there on the 16th to further remind Leilani, you need to get out. You know, I don't know what happened, that she stayed and is still there. Today is October 26th, and we've had a huge change in circumstances. This is no longer a fight about a washing machine. This is now about Quentin Simon's death that occurred on that property, and that he's being searched for in a landfill. That's a huge change in circumstances, yet Leilani's still there. What is Leilani holding over her? What is making her hang by her? I don't get it.
I don't either. It disgusts me. There is no way that I would stay in that house with her over my grandbaby. She would be gone or I would be gone. Matter of fact, it would probably be me gone, because I would have to sell that house if my grandbaby was murdered in it.
Then you wonder also, what would your husband do? Let me ask you that. What would your husband do? Would he honestly let your child together or whatever still be there?
Absolutely not. No. He wouldn't.
It's like mother, like daughter. I'm really wondering about, like I said, the man of the house, which we know the man of the house. I used to say that the one that runs everything is Billy. It seems to me that the one that runs the show is Leilani. Leilani runs it. Leilani's moods, Leilani's current boyfriend. That's what sets the tone of the home, it seems.
Yes.
She's telling Billy to do this, and Billy goes and does it?
Yes. Yes.
Teresa, that was the word I'm looking for. Optical illusion. Like I said, it's really dark, and it looks like Billy is 10 foot tall. Optical illusion. That was the word I was looking for. Thank you, Teresa. So what is she holding over her head that she still is flopping at the house for free? Billy's not going to work. She must have a lot of time accrued. What's the man of the house doing? Why is he putting up? He already has a chaotic environment because, well, he's got Billy and Leilani under one roof. Now it's totally different. Now we have a criminal, not a popcorn stealing criminal, not that type, not the type that's going to steal your wallet if it happens to be laying around. One that has ended a life. A criminal, that type of criminal. The type of criminal that has ended a human being's life.
Violent criminal.
Little Quentin, and she's still there.
Ugh.
And she's still there. Even with people out in the road screaming at your house, blaring babies, laughing babies, crying. Jesus loves the little children, and she's still there.
The wheels on the bus go round and round. They played it all.
Mm-hmm. Goodness. She's still there. I'd be like, you're the police's problem. I hope they follow you everywhere. Go on. Okay, so this is not Leilani. This is the aunt.
Yes.
Okay, some people are still, I'm getting messages right now. No, Brooks, that's actually Leilani. I was under the impression it was Leilani as well. Well, whoever this is.
Watch her walk. Watch her walk. When you watch this, she's got she's an older lady.
Or is she drunk? I have a feeling they're all drunk.
That's true too.
Because when, Billy's peeking over the gate and her pattern of speech, you've had people before and they call you and they are 3 sheets to the wind, but they're trying to talk like they're not, and they want to tell you about when they were 6 years old.
Yeah.
You on the phone for like 6-7 hours and they just duh, 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 duh. It won't stop, but they're trying to act sober. That's what it reminds me of when Billy's talking, because of the way she's enunciating. I taught him to walk. I know his favorite food.
What's that? You got a question?
Come to the road. Come to the road. Come to the road. One leg and I'll beat your ass, bitch. One fucking leg and you can get it.
No.
One leg. One leg.
No, you're gonna get arrested.
Come to that motherfucker, bitch. One leg and I'll swab your ass, bitch. I had you dripping out your bad ketchup. This motherfucker, you mad. Where that baby at? That's why you mad, bitch. You run up like you won't do something. You'll get touched tonight.
Y'all don't know anything.
Lonnie, what you do to the baby?
Where's your baby?
You're the one putting spotlights up.
We don't have prosecution charges. We don't have drug charges.
No, she want to run out that gate and run back in. One person couldn't hold you the fuck back. One person couldn't. Listen, why you walk outside the gate? Where the fuck them cameras was at when that baby got missing? But you can pull up cameras now.
She's exactly right. You put cameras and spotlights up now. You didn't care about security. You didn't care about security before. Billy, know you have to work. Everyone's got to work. Everyone's got to eat. We got to keep those lights on. Nobody's fretting anybody for working. I even defended Don Wells after Summer went missing. People are like, how could he go to work? Well, you got to go to work. He's got to work. They're not going to keep paying him for not showing up. That's probably the only thing I've had to defend Don on. But anyway, Billy had to go to work. Billy also knew that Leilani is a violent person. She knows she has beat up on her boyfriends, that she has a drug problem. These are not things that are foreign to Billy, because to Billy's own admission, she had the same problems years before. She knows what can happen. She already has a child in jail for murder. She already has a child in jail for murder, which has something to do with Billy, too.
Maybe that's what Leilani has over her.
Oh, Jules. Oh.
Yes, ma'am. That's just my thought.
Oh, you just hit me like a ton of bricks. Because I don't see Billy having this, I guess, maternal instinct. You know what I mean?
Right.
Huh. That's a very interesting thought.
They know where that baby at. They know where the fuck that baby at.
Justice for Quentin.
But DFS took my motherfucking kids, took my baby at 7 motherfucking days old, just because I was living in a motherfucking motel. But I'll tell you one thing, I took great care of mine. You know what that baby, you couldn't give that baby the fuck away.
Justice for Quentin.
They take the wrong kids, but they don't take the fucking right kids. You understand what I'm saying? They take the wrong fucking kids. They don't take the right kids. And my thing is, everybody in this area say they seen that baby abused. You feel what I'm saying? Why couldn't the neighbors, no fucking body on this motherfucking road, pick up the phone and call DSS? But the one thing they'll call DSS to ask for, when we tell you what they're gonna call it for, they're gonna call them if it's been a crash.
Now, I would love to know the conversation that the police had at the gate.
Me too.
Uh-huh. Hopefully they told them, look, it's their constitutional right. They can protest. As long as they don't trespass, they're not knocking on your windows, not trying to get in this house. You step out in that street, we got a problem.
Yep.
I would love to know what the police said at that gate. And I'm trying to get as close as possible who they're talking to. And Leilani, from what I'm understanding, was holding the gate open for Billy to wrangle up her sister and bring her back into the backyard.
Yes.
Gotta be kidding me. What Billy is saying is most interesting to me. Not that Aunt Dysfunction come rolling down the driveway thinking she was going to fight with Ketchup Lady isn't entertaining AF. Just listening to Billy, honestly thinking that she's making a point. It makes her sound a million times worse.
What was his favorite food then?
She wasn't crying that night. She wanted to come in the road and kick people's ass.
And tell us the facts and we'll go home.
Well, how come the camera's here now, but the cameras wasn't here when Quentin disappeared?
And I agree with that. Now, you've got cameras up and spotlights for your own safety, but you left Quentin and Zane and Sky, which I guess were perfectly fine because she didn't have it out for them, obviously. And you went out of state because we know that the 24-hour nanny does not exist. Nobody was planning to start that morning. And if they were, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Like I said yesterday, I don't care if Billy cleaned out her 401k and she hired an on-staff nurse, dentist, housekeeper, chauffeur, and she was going to have around-the-clock staff to make sure Leilani didn't hurt Quentin. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. She was not supposed to be with Quentin. She was not.
I don't see why she can't go to jail just for that right there in itself.
There has to be an investigation, I was told, by that social worker.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yes, she did. We did talk about that. I'm sorry.
Wonderwood Mom, how are you today?
Hello.
Wonderwood Mom, how are you today?
I'm good. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you've got your YouTube app on, so turn that. Mom, how are you today?
Give me five. Give me five.
Let her get that taken care of. That's just nuts. So people in chat are still saying that that's Leilani. Whoever it is didn't need to be going out there. Let me at them. Let me at them. They have no business talking about us like this. They have no business talking shit about us, do they? They have no business. They have no business. It was very, very early on. I mean, not even 2 days from when Quentin disappeared. And Billy put on Facebook people bashing her family. Those aren't the type of people she wants on her Facebook. I think it was like the second or third show I did about the disappearance of Quentin Simon. And I said,
"Oh, my lovelies, can you hear me now?"
Yeah, we can hear you now. And I said, well, you're not my type of people. Go ahead.
Is that to me?
Yes, it looks like you got it all cleared up. What's going on?
Oh my gosh, thank you. I'm from the UK. I don't know if you've heard of a little country called Wales, which is not English. It's part of the UK. So you've got Ireland, Scotland, Wales. And I think our whole country, the whole of the UK has been watching the Kylie Rodney and also, the Quentin thing. And you might not like what I have to say about this little bit, but it's just my opinion, is it doesn't seem like an organised activist group that's outside there. And I don't mean to be disrespectful. I think what they're doing, like, I've lost 2 babies. I have lost 2 babies in my lifetime, and I'm nearly 50 years old, and through no fault of my own. But what triggered me is that they were playing baby crying noises. Right. And as a viewer, that was hard. That was really hard.
Well, and with what you've been through, it probably might not be healthy to follow this.
100%, yeah.
Just to catch it when it comes out. Not because I don't want you around here, or I don't want you on panel, or I don't want you in chat, but you gotta take care of yourself as well.
Oh, for sure. Look, I lost my babies many years ago, and I'm on a mission to help and to be a part of something that can help other mums, dads, and children who've had injustice. But I think this crowd could have got. It looks like a party. It looks like they're all drunk and screaming and shouting with no consideration for their neighbours. You know, I understand, I get it. I'd be the first one, if my neighbour bloody killed a child, I'd be the first one in there to drag it out and kick the shit out of her, for sure. But the fact that crowds are gathering and it's affecting the whole community there, and I don't think the whole community there is to blame. And I truly, I know you're probably all going to hate me after this, I truly think this could be, that crowd could do it just a little bit better. Keep doing what they're doing, for sure, for sure. But they do have live cameras there. They are projecting this on their live streams of their YouTube channels. So if you want the world to see the activism and the amazing things you're doing, do it with considerations of all viewers, because if you can't, then you're only selecting a minority of viewers that can possibly watch this.
Oh yeah, they have it on their YouTube channels and stuff like that. And I've suggested too, you know, go do it in front of the police department. The whole idea, I guess, is to get under their skin, you know?
Yeah, yeah, I agree.
And if I was a neighbor, I'd be furious. I'm not.
Oh.
I'm not.
I wouldn't even think twice about knocking that door and dragging that bitch out and kicking her ass. I can tell you that now.
Yeah.
But I think the fact that this has become a YouTube public event for the whole of the world to watch, that's what makes a difference. If I was going to knock on her door, grab her out the door and kick her ass, the last thing I would do is put a YouTube camera to watch me doing it. That's the difference. These people, which again, I don't know them, they're all, you know, American, I'm from the UK, but what I don't get is like everybody seems to be seeking glory for their actions of this activism protest, rather than making things work, making the law work harder. They're making the law work harder by arresting them, rather than make the law, do it legally and do it respectfully, and do it so the world will back you. If you're going to make a protest, you want the world to follow you. Why make a protest that the world's going to start to, I don't know, dislike you a little bit and think it's a bit tacky and you know, or going up against the police force who are there. I mean, the police force are there, that's what they got to do. They got to protect, as much as they fucking hate that woman and her mother, but yet they still got to do a job. But yet now the activists are now attacking the police. They could do this so much better. That's all I'm trying to say. They could make their voices heard better without screaming baby noises, without playing shark songs, without laughing and drinking and smoking dope or whatever they're bloody doing out there. It looks like a farce. It looks like a party of people trying to get on the bandwagon of YouTube viewers.
Oh yeah, that's some of that is part of the point.
No, I get it. Yeah, I do. But they could do it a little bit better, I think, personally.
Oh, and there's a ton of people that agree with you. I don't, there's a lot of people that are very, very, very turned off by this.
I'm not turned off by it. I'm not angry by it. I'm just giving my little bit of advice from out of the US. You know, I'm in the UK. I mean, like I said, I come from wild out in the countries. I live in the Brecon Beacons. I live amongst lakes and trees. I'm a wood carver. I'm a chainsaw carver. You know, I've got a bit of a deep voice, but I am a woman, right? So I'm a mother. And I agree with activism and I agree with protests. But you can never get your voice heard if you're aggressive and it's a weak move what they're doing. It's just a load of random people turning up, screaming, shouting, being belligerent, attacking or, you know, insulting the police. You're not going to get anywhere with that. You will get less views. You'll get less followers. And once all this is over, and it will be over, and it will be over soon, those people then have got to deal with the repercussions of what they've done online. Not from me, for sure, because I love what they're doing. I wish I could be there to guide them and say, whoa, calm it down just a little bit. Just a little bit. Come on, like, you know. But they don't. They seem to thrive off each other and feed off each other's aggressive ways.
Kind of like who can top who.
Exactly. It's like one person will say, let's play the shark song. And then another one will go, ooh, we'll play a baby song, a baby crying. It's like they're feeding off the adrenaline of live cameras everywhere. But if you watch every hour, every minute of those videos, they're all slipping up. They're making fools of themselves. The slightest little detail, they're saying something like a spliff. Here's one. And then one goes, do you want that? And she goes, yeah. Oh, it's a strong one, mine. And then somebody says, oh, shh, you're live. And then that person goes, oh, shit, sorry. Do you know what I mean? They look like fools.
Yeah, I just don't know how you could organize something like that personally, because I've never done it. I don't know.
Don't go live. Don't go live. That's how you organize it. Don't go freaking live 24/7. What you can do is do a 24-hour recording, take it back, edit the most important bits, because and then put it up tomorrow as a premiere or an open panel like you're doing, you know, to discuss the main points of that 24-hour filming. I think them going live is making a sham of it. It really is.
Well, and, you know, also there's people that are protesting, I guess, respectfully. I mean, that's just the word I'm using.
Sure there is, yeah.
And so the people, the bad eggs, are making everyone look bad. So,
but the good eggs are getting riled by the bad eggs, because once, I mean, you know yourself, if you go to a pop concert or a rock concert, yeah, and somebody shouts, yay, you know, and then everybody goes, yay, you know, or the Mexican wave. Someone starts the Mexican wave, the Mexican wave continues, yeah? That's what's happening. The bad apples are creating a Mexican wave amongst the good apples, and it's making everybody look really bad. And I can tell you now, I mean, I can't tell you, no, I can't. What am I on about? But what I'm trying to say is it's starting to look bad. The first day I loved it. Second day, I'm not going to name names because I don't follow or watch these particular two YouTubers. I used to like them. I don't follow them. I'm not subscribed to them. But I thought they had great voices to put out there for those vulnerable people. But it looks like they're filming their YouTube while their friends are the ones being the vocal ones, and they're standing there saying, well, I'm not saying nothing. I haven't done nothing. I haven't said nothing. And then all their friends are the ones shouting, baby killers, and fuck you, and no, you know, but the two YouTubers that started this could have done this so well. But they're leaving their people speak for them, and they're just standing in front of a camera going, well, I haven't said nothing. I won't be arrested. I'm not going to do. That's what's making it look bad.
Yeah, but they can't control what other people do.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And when you have someone in your community, and that's how they feel about it, and I respect your opinion, and that's what's so great about our community, is that we respect each other's opinions. I'm not saying yay or nay either way. I'm really not.
No, same as, darling. I'm sure, I mean, if this was my neighbour, probably this conversation would be very freaking different. I'll be honest with you. Yeah, it probably would. You know, if that happened across my road, yeah, I would probably be saying very different thing. But what I'm trying to portray to you in the world and to the people out there, think carefully. If you want to create awareness over this, think a little bit clearer to get that word out there. It's not just your local town. You chose to put that on a worldwide live net thing. Mm-hmm. If you want to make an impact on this, think a little bit more clear how you're going to get the world on your side.
We are all, I can only speak for, I think I'm speaking safely for everybody in here. We're on the side of what finds Quentin and those responsible put in jail for the rest of their life.
100%, man. And I hope every fucking crazy woman in that jail will kick the living shit out of her. Because for sure, I agree, she's guilty without a doubt. Without a doubt. I mean, if I was there, I would torture the bitch to hell. But yeah, in order to get, if you're doing a protest, and protest, you know, the point of a protest is to draw awareness, yeah, of the situation and to get support and awareness to make a change and to get a positive outcome of that situation. But I think what they're doing, like I said, the first day was great, second day, and it started to become a party, and that's how it's being portrayed now. It looks like people are enjoying themselves out there, and that's what I wanted to tell you. That's what it looks like for me here in the UK. It'd be very different if it's happening in my neighbour, like I said, but I'm just saying it's all blowing out of YouTube everywhere and Facebook, and I mean, I don't even have anything else, but it does look like everybody's having a party and sort of getting some clickbait or click likes, and people are stopping. We just don't want to hear it. What we want is justice for sure. And I think their intentions were justice for sure. But as each day's got by, like you said, there's other people who are there that, you know, you can't be accountable for everybody, but maybe rein it in. I personally think, and I'm going to say the names now, Bullhorn Betty and...
Now, we're not, I don't get into creator conflict.
Right, okay, I'll say nothing. So, okay, yeah, I thought I wasn't going to say that now, but what I'm trying to say is they have a good platform and they can rein those people in if they wanted to, but they stand there looking at their bloody cameras and say, well, that's not me shouting, I'm not abusing the police, but they're standing there in the midst of it. I'm sure they could contain that just a little bit.
Ma'am.
Yeah.
That's not YouTubers, that's locals that are going to jail and doing all that yelling and playing the music.
All right, yeah.
That's not anybody from YouTube.
Right, that's all I know them as. So yeah, I stand corrected. Maybe, you know, that maybe it's a good thing I've come on panel so I can learn a little bit more of an insight into the American ways. Or I'm just bewildered by.
I'm more offended by the prime suspect partying it up, eating dinners.
Yes.
And
I haven't seen that video yet. It was sort of I had messages today saying, was she twerking in the window or something?
She's taunting people. She knows. They know tensions are high, and they're in a community where someone is not arrested, and they're digging through a landfill looking for a dead body. They're mad. They're furious. I would be in front. I'm not going to say what I would do, but
I'll tell you what I would do. I'd kill the bitch, but never mind. Anyway, go on.
But I mean, my anger is focused at the person that's responsible for Quentin being in the landfill.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, it's disgusting. The whole thing is disgusting.
It is.
But hey, don't be a stranger. You know, when the link is, pinned, come up and talk with us, okay?
100%. And thank you for the chat, guys. I'll let you all go because I'm sure you got a million other people's. But please don't take what I've said as disrespect to anybody. I just wanted to relay to you from the UK, and maybe it's not creators at themselves, it's the way YouTube is portraying certain how can I say? I mean, I'm subscribers to many videos, but sometimes I don't get those notifications, and there's some I will and some I don't, which is weird. But I think sometimes YouTube play on the media knowledge which gets sent out and accessed by other countries as well. Like a little bit like a propaganda thing.
Let me tell you how to solve that. I had to learn this the hard way because stuff would make me so mad.
Yeah.
The internet is a huge place. If you don't like what you're seeing and you can't stand it, go to another channel.
Yeah, I agree, man. Yeah.
The internet, Al Gore made a big internet. Let me tell you what, that's just a joke, by the way. The internet's a big place. And if you're somewhere where you're not getting along with those people, you don't like what you're seeing, you think it's wrong, you think they need to change it, they're not going to. They're not going to. You just go somewhere where they're more like-minded. So you're always welcome here, my friend.
Thank you for that. And I'll just say one last thing. I never really comment much. This is the first live panel I've been up on for a chat. I'm not one to go there and bitch and argue with people anyway. It's not my, I've got much better things to do. But this case has, and the Kylie Rodney case has really taken my breath away about the bloody law enforcement in America. I'm not saying the British ones are any better, but Jesus Christ. I mean, everything seems like every county or every state has a corruption in one way or another. And I just don't get it.
That's an argument for another day, but I appreciate you coming up, my friend.
All right, sweetheart. I'll say good night. Well, yeah, it's almost good night for me. So thank you, folks, for letting me up. And I'll keep watching your channel and follow for sure.
All right. Good to know you. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye. Bye-bye.
Bye.
So basically what she's just saying is she doesn't think they're going about it the right way. And like I said, you don't like something you're watching, you don't agree with it, there are a gazillion other channels you can watch. I've probably seen 2 seconds of it. I will say it was hilarious as hell, that lady running down the driveway. I'm still trying to figure out Billy's pattern of speech, but that's just me. All right, so WSAV yesterday, they did do an update. Not much of an update. By the way, that change of channel thing is not for you guys. You guys hang with me. Not much of an update, but we did get something out of it. Then I've got to look at this Court TV, compare what Court TV said about who sent the text. Because if this is a boo-boo, it's a major one. It's a major one. And Court TV, they're supposed to understand minute details like who told Diana not to be there. You know what I mean?
Yep. Did you know?
What?
That I sent them an email.
Well, I hope somebody clears this up because that's huge to be out there.
I sent them an email.
You're not the only one. I about shit and fell back in it. Captain Napton, I've got it somewhere in my email. Send me an email and I'll forward it to you. She makes great videos, by the way. Got so many creative people.
Story of Quentin Simon. It is a case that started with a missing little boy that is now a criminal investigation. Today, investigators have wrapped up their search of the Chatham County landfill where they believe the child's body is dumped. WSAV's lead investigative reporter Brett Buffington is live tonight from West Chatham County with everything we've learned from day one until now.
I mean, there are so many questions about this case. Police say they believe Quentin's body was put in a dumpster, but they won't tell us where. And they've named Quentin's mom, Leilani, as their one and only suspect, but they won't tell us why. With so many questions, we just want to share what we do know. 20 days ago,
Chatham 7 Alpha 2.
This was a story
Complaint about her 1-year-old son is missing.
About a little boy who was missing.
350 receipt.
His mom said taken.
This is Leilani, and her son is Hawaiian.
But that story did not stick long.
Yeah, I feel like whatever Leilani's story doesn't add up.
This grandmother, with custody of little Quentin, left town, left Quentin in this southwest Chatham County home to be looked after by Quentin's mother, her daughter, Leilani.
Leilani, do you have anything to say?
What we've learned about this little boy's mom dates back years. She was evicted for not paying rent in Long County. That was 2019. In 2020, charged with breaking into Quentin's grandfather's trailer and stealing money. Last year, arrested in North Carolina, Quentin's mom was accused of stealing cigarettes, a soda, and popcorn from her job. Those 2 charges for stealing are why she was on probation last month when her and her mom got in a fight over the washing machine. The police report calls Quentin's mom a thief. Her own brother told the officer Leilani Simon steals money to buy drugs. A day later, Grandma wanted Leilani gone. That grandmother, a star in this viral video taken just days after Quentin went missing.
Your entire family keep recording.
Billy Joe, with her husband, flat out said Leilani is a liar.
Bad to say, but she just likes to lie.
That grandmother was with Quentin's mom when this picture was taken, as the waitstaff at this Tybee Island bar says, drinking and flirting. Police believe that this little boy, whose mom said he was taken to a trash dumpster thrown in like garbage, and is now somewhere in this dump.
And no one has been arrested, and no one has been charged. And so many people in this community and across the country tonight are looking at the Chatham County Police Department and asking why. We're live in Southwest Chatham County tonight. I'm Brett Buffington, WSAV News 3, on your side.
I think he's going to wind up on News Nation or something. You know, he's got the hair, he's got the name and everything. So anyway, that's where we are thus far. Of course, we have the chaos going on at the house. Some people are like, go for it. Keep them up 24/7. Some are like, yeah, you could do it a different way. Yeah, it is what it is. But what's the most important is that the men and women that are in that landfill as we do this show right now find Quentin. They are not going to find a Quentin that we see on the screen in this thumbnail. They're not going to see that. He was compacted several times between leaving that dumpster and getting to that landfill and then again. So if we're going to, I think there was an argument in here yesterday. These things happen. Tensions are high. We're talking about a little baby. But the focus and the anger is at who took Quentin's life. Now, I am really, really, really beside myself with what was said on Court TV last night. If this reporter says, I saw the text that came from Leilani, that is a totally different story than what we've been told. Today is 3 weeks since Quentin disappeared. Murdered, put in a dumpster, put in a trash can, however, and wound up in a landfill, they believe. They have to have really, really strong evidence to fly these people down from Washington, D.C. or Arlington, wherever, Quantico, Virginia, to spend all this time. We're going into, what is this, week 2 of being in a landfill.
40 agents.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I know a lot of people have asked for a clarification, you being one, to Court TV. You're one of them that said, hey, now, did she see that text came from Leilani? Let's see what they said. I went back a little bit, so bear with me.
No one's blocking any driveways tonight, and things have been they've been peaceful, but we have still heard those air horns, people yelling, people honking, still making their voice known about what they say is injustice when it comes to what happened to this toddler.
And Julia, I don't know exactly what I heard, but it seemed like the voices are getting louder behind you, and there's more people gathering. Are they addressing the home, or are they just talking amongst each other at this point?
Right now, it is a change. They have been addressing the home most of the day, but right now it's amongst each other. I've noticed them talking about this case, about the tragedy of this toddler that's lost, what they think may have happened. But right now, it's just an interesting scene because they are now on the yard of the property, which is different from where they were most of the day today. And there is an open window there at the house, so perhaps very easy for this family to see who is here outside protesting. What they feel has not been handled in the way that it should as far as the investigation and what has been told to authorities.
Well, let's talk about that investigation, the landfill search. What's the latest there?
We're entering week 2 of that landfill search, and that's going on about 10 miles away from here. Police have not released exactly what took them to that landfill, but they did release that they had credible evidence, credible information that prompted them to go there. And just a bit about how this process works. These are not volunteers. These are law enforcement trained searchers. And they say it's very important that they have that extensive training because of how dangerous a search like this can be. They can encounter hazardous materials. You see, they have the protective gear, but they are moving very carefully through tons of garbage, trying to find what we have not been told exactly what, but related to the disappearance of Quentin Simon. And we know police have said they do not believe that he is alive, but that is the status now. This is still an ongoing search, and no word from police today on any updates coming out of that search.
You know, and that's another thing. Just 10 miles from their house, this is going on. This looks like another planet. You know, it's a landfill. Think about the stuff we throw away. Never mind, think about what she threw away.
Ugh. I want to stomp her.
I'm telling you.
Now, I also understand that you had an opportunity to speak with Quentin's babysitter. What did you find out?
She is the woman who kept him the day before he went missing. And she didn't want to go on camera because she said it's actually been difficult for her safety-wise as far as needing to take those precautions because of the intense scrutiny that surrounded this case. But she did talk to me off camera, and she said that she actually received a text the morning of the disappearance and that she was scheduled to babysit the baby, but that she received a text and she showed it to me that she said was from Leilani Simon at 5:29 a.m. And it said that they had made other arrangements when it comes to babysitting. They would not need her, and she would be staying with her parents instead. So she typically would have him between 5:30 and 6, she said, in the morning is when they would bring her over. She also mentioned that she was out on her front yard between 7 a.m. and 8 a.m. She didn't notice him anywhere. She said he's a little boy that she's been keeping for 6 months, that she loves him and is heartbroken that he can't be found. But she said she was involved in the search. I asked her if she ever noticed anything odd, anything that may point to a sign that there was any kind of trouble. And she couldn't point to anything specific outside of, she said, maybe a couple bruises, but she said he's also a toddler who often fell down when he...
That's a big difference. That's a big difference. Because, and I have a feeling that Diana is not like in the heat. This is not her world. She got drug into this. Diana, when she first came out, she said he had bruises that were from belts. She said that text came from Danny. Then she said, hang on, now I didn't talk to CPS because they were already involved. But I let Billy know. We heard the argument between her and Billy, where she said to Billy, I told you what was going on. I don't know what I told you what was going on means. All right, so she talked to Court TV last night. This is a big difference, guys. I'm not liking this. I'm not trying to pick on Diana. I know Diana seems to be the crowd favorite. This is Court TV. This is not the Daily Fail. This is not People Magazine. This is not The Sun. But he's also a toddler, she said. Now, she circled it back, and she did a Facebook Live a few days after her very first one. And she was, I don't know where those bruises came from. You can't put that out in the universe and say he had bruises that came from belts on him and I told Billy, and then say, well, he's a toddler. It can be from anything. Doesn't work that way, not just in the true crime world, but in any world. Any world. I don't care if you watch the cooking channel all day. In the cooking world, it doesn't work that way. The lady said, I saw the text. This is exactly what the reporter said. Tanya said, unless she's not quoting Diana verbatim. I don't know. You're hearing the same thing as me. You're hearing the same thing as me. So she said, I saw the text. We're going to listen to her again because this is important. Have you gotten an email back, Jules?
No.
To babysitting, they would not need her, and she would be staying.
What did you find out?
She is the woman who kept kept him the day before he went missing. And she didn't want to go on camera because she said it's actually been difficult for her safety-wise as far as needing to take those precautions because of the intense scrutiny that surrounded this case. But she did talk to me off camera, and she said that she actually received a text the morning of the disappearance, that she was scheduled to babysit the baby, but that she received a text and she showed it to me that she said was from Leilani Simon at 5:29.
And she showed it to me. This lady's intelligent. Diana doesn't have things stored in her phone just by phone number and just recognizes the number. And she showed it to me from Leilani.
Because I'm sure it said Leilani across the top of the message.
Mm-hmm. Someone said, thank you, Brooks. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. I don't know. I don't know. Hang on. Where Summer said something. I got to see that. Mm-hmm. Kenny said, West Boys Again, Court TV gets news wrong. This is a huge wrong, by the way. This is a huge wrong. This is a huge wrong. Where Summer said, exactly. You can't put something out there, then take it back. That's not how it works in the real world. Not just on the internet. Not just on YouTube. Not just on Facebook. Not just on Twitter. You can't put it out there and say, I got a text from Danny. Now, the way that the reporter is phrasing it, saying we've made other arrangements, makes me wonder, did Diana get fired the next day? I don't know. I don't believe that there was any 24/7 nanny starting that morning. Because like I said, what a coincidence that between when ex-babysitter fired who didn't know, drops him off till the next morning, what are we doing right today? Looking through the landfill. Looking through the landfill. So she says Leilani. She says Leilani.
9 a.m. and it said that they had made other arrangements when it comes to babysitting. They would not need her and she would be staying with her parents instead. So she typically would have him between 5:30 and 6, she said, in the morning is when they would bring her over. She also mentioned that she was out on her front yard between 7 a.m. and 8 a.m. She didn't notice him anywhere. She said he's a little boy that she's been keeping for 6 months, that she loves him and is heartbroken that he can't be found. But she said she was involved in the search. I asked her if she ever noticed anything odd, anything that may point to a sign that there was any kind of trouble. And she couldn't point to anything specific outside of, she said maybe a couple bruises, but she said he's also a toddler who often fell down when he was running very fast. So nothing that seemed off to the point that he would disappear. But she did say that there are some neighbors who say that sometimes they notice them walking around. This is the toddler and his older brother sometimes walking around without supervision, and then they would contact Leilani about it. So many questions still unanswered.
Yeah, so many questions. Like, did you really see bruises that I don't know what a bruise from a belt looks like. I'm not trained. I'm not trained. That is specifically what she said. Now, like I said, she did another Facebook Live and said those bruises could have came from anywhere. It's because she was getting heat from people on Facebook saying, why didn't you do something? Why didn't you do something? Why didn't you do something? Now we have Court TV. Here's the best rule of thumb. Just don't say anything.
Right.
Someone's got a camera and someone's got a microphone, or they got one pinned to their shirt. If it's someone you don't know, actually just don't even talk about this case at all. When you change your story, it looks bad. Whether you mean to or not, even if you're changing it just to get people off your ass, it makes it worse. It makes it worse. Okay, so let's go. Go ahead, Jules. What were you saying?
Go ahead. I don't know. I lost my train of thought. I looked up at the TV.
Uh-oh.
There's a verdict in for the parade crash.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Go ahead. I'll pay attention.
Nope. You're fine. You're fine. I'm the one all over the place today.
I was listening, but I was.
So the reporter says she talked to Diana. Diana doesn't want to come on camera. Didn't really notice anything off, but he's a toddler, so he could have some bruises on him. That is not what we heard before. That is not what we heard before. She also said the text came from Leilani, and she said she showed me the text. This lady, I believe, knows the difference between the word Danny and the word Leilani. So just don't talk anymore. Don't talk anymore, because this is what she said. This is her very first Facebook Live.
On Wednesday morning, saying that from Danny that they was not coming. Leilani was with them. Here with the babies. And all I was doing was trying to tell her what was going on. So if I'm a bad person for that, then let me be a bad person for that.
That's when she doubled down. I'm not picking on Diana. I'm really not. This is about Quentin. Like I said, I know Diana has a very soft spot in a lot of people's hearts. She said, if I'm a bad person, then I'm a bad person for telling Billy what was going on. But now she's telling Court TV and other people, I don't know where those bruises came from. I don't know. Now, and this is huge, the text came from Leilani.
I go through the timeline again. Okay, at 5:29, I got a text on Wednesday morning saying that from Danny that they was not coming. Leilani was with them. Then at 9 o'clock, I got a text from Danny asking me if I had seen him. I said no.
We've said over and over and over, why would Danny text her saying, we don't need you to watch Quentin today, and then call her and say, do you have Quentin? Court TV said she went and saw Diana. Diana doesn't want to come on camera, but Diana showed her the text, and it was from Leilani.
I called him immediately. He said they couldn't find him. I went over to their house. She did not end up calling the police until after I got there. It was about, I think it was about 9:35, 9:40 when they finally called the police. And literally that's all I know. All I know is what I seen, and not just me. It's more people down here, this road. What I seen when they were with Leilani. That's what I seen. I never said that I was their mother. I'm not their mother. I'm just someone that cares. That's it. I'm just someone that cares. And sometimes I think that gets me in trouble because I care too much. But yes, that's all I got to say. I just wanted to set the record straight. I just wanted everyone to know what was going on. But I have texts, all the texts that Billy Joe and me text today. I never cussed her. I never said anything bad to her, negative. She just went off on me for no reason.
Yeah, no one cares about that. We all know you guys were fighting. No one cares about that. I mean, obviously, it's going to be interesting to the police. The reason I'm upset about this, wherever the problem is, whether Court TV got it wrong, even though the lady said she showed me the text. The lady didn't say, Diana said, and she just got it wrong with all the names floating around. She said, she showed me the text. Diana says on here, Danny sent me the text. We've heard the rumor that Danny said that he didn't send a text. It must have been erased off his phone. Who the hell, where did that text come from? We still can't prove who really was holding the phone. I got that part of it.
I still think Leilani did it from Danny's phone and deleted it.
Well, then this lady at Court TV needs to be in a different line of business because she said she showed me the text. There's a big difference between Danny and Leilani.
Yeah.
And this lady is not, I don't think she's been following the case like we have. So it would have stuck out in her mind. She said she showed me the text.
So it had to be. I mean, Her name had to be on it.
Mm-hmm. So I don't know what the lady from Court TV saw. She said she showed me the text from Leilani. She said she told me, Diana told me, she got a text from Leilani. So that would be 2 mistakes that the reporter made, if it's a mistake. Then we hear her say, we hear Diana say, this was weeks ago. Weeks ago, I got a text from Danny. Unless the police have told Diana between then and now, we have found out that that text did not come from Danny. That text came from Leilani. But still, the Court TV reporter said, I saw the text from Leilani.
Well, she could have seen it, and Diane, maybe, like you said, had found out that it wasn't from Danny, it was from Leilani.
She saw the text. And if that text said Danny, she would have said, she said it was from Leilani Simon, but the text message she showed me was from Danny. Yeah. Very strange. Let's see what UFC's thinking. Haven't seen you in a while, partner. How you doing, UFC?
I'm doing well. How you guys doing? It's been a little busy. You know how shit goes. Things come up in life and got to take care of them.
You bet. You bet. So where we stand now, I don't know when you popped into the show. I'm sure you're going to go back and listen to every single minute of it. So where we stand now, they're still in the landfill searching for Quentin. Billy and the crew are drunk in the backyard almost every night. We have protesters outside. So you're pretty much up to speed. What do you think?
I really think that Court TV needs to get their shit together. If they send out false information, you go to school for 6 to 8 years to be a journalist. To get on the, obviously you've been around, you're a veteran. If you're on Court TV, you're not a rookie. So I believe that she probably read it that way. I mean, if she has it written down like that, maybe that's what she's seen on the phone, and yeah, maybe Leilani told her that Danny texted her off her phone. You know what I'm saying? That could be a big possibility, like people were saying.
She saw something. She said she showed me the text.
Yeah, that's the main line right there that makes me believe she's seen it with her own eyes. So if she's seen something and then reported it wrong, that's horrible because she said she's seen it with her own eyes. You know what I'm saying? It's not hearsay now at this point.
Yeah.
So
you have Diana saying, and also I'm also more concerned about the bruises. Diana specifically said that these bruises were from a belt and that she reported bruises to Billy. Well, we know Billy isn't going to do shit because Leilani seems to be holding something over Billy's head. Billy couldn't even get her evicted out of her own home. The most that Leilani would do last night with everything going on that she caused is hold the gate open for her aunt that was about to get into it and probably would have gotten arrested with a protester. Leilani has got some weird hold on these people. You can love your child all day, all night, but you're not going to put up with that. Billy is a strong, strong person, yet she's getting run over by Leilani. It doesn't make any sense. So she tells Billy about these bruises that come from a belt. But then she says, well, he's just a toddler. They could have come from anywhere. That is night and day from what we were told.
There is night and day in a belt bruise and a boo-boo bruise.
Okay.
100%. You fall down, you can tell the difference. I raised a 1 to 3 year old. I would never even spank a 1 to 3 year old. I wouldn't even spank a 7-year-old. It's not a way to get your point across in this world. There's better ways to handle it. I just think that, I don't know, man, that babysitter seems scared. I would be scared too, though, if I was that babysitter. Put yourself in her shoes. You have to live around these people who are drinking every night.
Don't say a word. Really, that is the only advice I have for anybody today, unless you catch me at dinner time, if I've got something good to eat, just don't say anything. If you can't keep your story straight as to who sent you the text and to where you believe those bruises came from, don't say a word, because what's dangerous, this is what bothers me, Diana is a witness. This is not, when people lose interest in this case, Diana does not have that
ability.
She doesn't have that convenience, if you know what I mean, because she will have to testify. She is the one. She's the first red flag. She's the one that was told. She's the babysitter. Do not show up today. Do not show up today. We don't need you. However, the text read that the reporters saw and that Diana has, we don't need you today. She's a witness. She can't in the court, even on social media, get it wrong.
Hey, Brooks, and that's the main thing, guys. This is huge right here. I want everybody to think about this. If they do not find the body, and this lady is changing her story left and right, this is why they can't arrest Leilani for murder. It's all witness based, you know what I'm saying? And everything's going to come down to circumstantial evidence. And when someone's changing their story, the main witness, that's going to be hard to prosecute without a body. It's going to be 100% hard to prosecute.
It's very hard. It's very hard. Like with, Harmony Montgomery. We talked about Harmony yesterday. They went and they grabbed Teardrop and they said, we have an eyewitness. How they got that was Uncle Kenny, and put him in jail for abuse to Harmony. We have an eyewitness. Well, if she's an eyewitness, but yet now says, I don't know where those bruises could have came from, she's not a good witness.
How credible is she? Yep. For lying,
she's not a good witness.
Changed her story in the first 3 weeks. What is she going to do in 6 months when she gets put on the stand and all this money gets put in this case, and they have all these lawyers and they have all the prosecution, and they have to put a case together, and she changed her story every week. It's going to be hard for them to sit there and tell a jury, yeah, this is our credible witness and she's 100% factual. That's hard to prove right there. I mean, this defense attorney's loving this right now.
I'm afraid we have a problem. We have a big problem, because when they put her on the stand, and she is a witness, hands down, she's the one that got the text. She's the one that was told. She's the first red flag. I don't mean Diana personally. Well, I might change my opinion on that. She's the first one. She was the one. She was on the news that night. They told me not to come get the kids. She said, which was weird, because whether they work or not, I still watch the kids. Even if they're just going to lay on their asses and get high all day, she still has the kids. If they don't have another thing in the world to do besides watch the breeze blow, she still has the kids. So that was everybody heard that was like, huh, okay. The name of my show was No Foul Play My Ass. Of course there's something going on here. Then we hear on that Saturday, he went missing on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. 3 days later, she does a Facebook Live. You're watching, this is what this is from. And she says, and I told Billy about those bruises. I did more for him than his mother. She's furious. She's angry. She's mad. Okay, so we have that. Then it's, I don't know where those bruises came from. She tells Court TV. It's on Court TV. She didn't really see anything. That's a defense attorney's wet dream. Your key witness changed her story. Your state's witness changed her story.
Your only witness, pretty much, other than if Danny's talking. Think about it. That's the closest witness you have, unless Danny's talking. I don't see why Danny's out of the county. I mean, you were there. You were supposedly there. You came back.
And don't get me wrong. There's going to be many, many, many other charges and lots more evidence. But if, let's just say, the case is hanging on what she has said, it's a problem. She said belt bruises and now doesn't know where the bruises came from.
If you're that specific to say belt bruises, then you know what's going on. You know what I'm saying, Brooks? That means you know exactly where those bruises came from, how they came. If you said exactly belt bruises, then you knew that he got hit with a belt. Obviously, you know a little more than we do. And then if you're changing it, that's truly scary. You know what I'm saying? But it could be all the threats she's getting. Doesn't she live right across the street?
Oh yeah. I'm sure she doesn't like those protesters outside. She's probably afraid someone's going to come start protesting her, because she said she didn't call CPS. She just told Billy. She could easily just be saying, I didn't see anything because she's had people outside her house taking pictures.
She actually made lunch for the protesters and took it down there to them.
Oh, wow. And that's what I said when I first started this conversation. I said, this is not her world. I'm sure this has more of Leilani and her destructive behavior. She's changed this woman's whole world. This isn't any longer about just talking to the news camera on your front porch and you go back inside. I mean, her world has been flopped upside down.
Yep. Absolutely.
So I really want to know, because Court TV is going to get a ton of these emails. This is a huge difference between Leilani, that she got a text from Leilani, or she got a text from Danny. So we're going to have to watch everything that they put out.
You have to watch them, because I don't know if anybody else saw it, but they have also been reporting that the family put that memorial up in the front yard, and they did not.
Oh, hell no, they didn't. They didn't even want a flyer out.
No, they didn't do it, but Court TV is reporting that the family did all that.
Yeah. Yeah, they're going to have to straighten this part at least out. The memorial is one thing, but this part, who sent her the text?
Yeah, that's important.
I heard the reporter say she saw the text.
Yep, I heard her too.
That's terrible journalism. If that, the Daily Mail, we know we have to take with a grain of salt. I mean, in huge bold letters, it says 18-month-old. No, he's not. He's 20 months old. So what are you thinking, UFC? What do you think is going to happen with all of this? What do you think about Danny? Danny has come back. People are really saying, look, don't write Danny off. Danny was there.
Yeah, 100% think he knows what happened. I think if none of them went out and searched for the baby, truly searched for the baby, they're all involved. 100%. It's a guilty conscience. They're out drinking. They're running different. If Danny's running to a different county for a while, they're out drinking. They're running away from the problems. They're drinking away their sorrows. They know exactly what happened. All three of them do. It's only a matter of time. And I'm just hoping that she didn't. I'm kind of thinking, what if she goes by the garbage can and acts like she's gonna dump it, and maybe she just dumps drugs instead or something because she had drugs in the house, knowing she's gonna get caught. I mean, that's a high possibility too. And they figured the bag was a baby or whatever she dropped in that garbage can, and now they're misled. And Leilani knows they're not going to find him. She's happy. She's like, he ain't there. I'm partying. You know what I'm saying? That's another possibility we can think. I mean, they've been out there for a while. I know there's a lot of garbage, but
it bothers me that the word water keeps coming up.
Yeah. 100%. I just figured that maybe this was a big mislead on their half, and Leilani's partying because of it. They know that baby's not in that garbage, that dumps. I mean, that's a high possibility. I mean, there's film, I guess there's cameras pointing at that garbage can, but what says that she didn't go dump drugs because knowing that they're going to come search the house? You know what I'm saying? And if that's the case, that shows why they're partying, because they know that baby ain't in that garbage. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they have their evidence, they do, but.
Well, the dogs hit on the landfill, and they had enough evidence to bring specialized officers, agents from Quantico. So that's
Brooks. Do you think that she could have threw the clothes away though? Maybe threw the baby's clothes away.
There's a difference. They say there's a difference between hitting on remains and clothing that have been on remains.
Okay.
These dogs are that trained. Trust me, none of my animals have ever been that smart. So we do have that. I think that all the partying, I think they did this partying and stuff before. This is not new. This is just their general habit. I think they're becoming more confident as the days go by, the hour clicks by, the minute clicks by, because there's no news. So when Leilani says waiting on a phone call, she knows he's out there somewhere. And she knows at some point, well, she's not going to get a phone call. She's going to get a tap at the door and they're going to grab her ass. When Billy said, we don't want him in that landfill, we hope he's not in that landfill or whatever, they hope he's not found, period, because they know it's a better chance at her defense.
100%. That's the goal. That is the goal right there. And then with Babysitter changing their story, they're sitting there licking their chops, man. I mean, we've seen it day in and day out with Casey Anthony and all these other cases, and now your main witness has changed her story, or at least hopefully she didn't, and Court TV got it wrong. That's the goal of everything, and they made a big mistake. But if she did, this is going to get ugly. And that baby every day being out there with the animals being in that landfill, that day in and day out that feed off that landfill, every day is less likely to find that baby. You know, and that's the terrible part about it.
I really think that's the hope that they're hanging on to. I think that is their hope. They know Quentin's not coming home.
Yeah, I do too.
That's the hope they're hanging on to, is that they don't find him.
They hope they don't find him.
I mean, Danny's not even speaking. I wonder if he's talking to the cops. I mean, I would already have them all three on lie detector tests at this point. With all the texts and everything we've seen and everything that's been brought up, it's comes to a point where, you know, Danny, if you didn't do nothing wrong here, sit on this test. You know, I mean, I know things have changed in 20 years or 15 years since my case, but that's the first thing I would do as a man if I knew I had nothing to do with the case. I said, look, I want to clear my name, bring that lie detector test out. I know it's admissible in court, but to prove to you guys that I'm a solid man and I didn't have nothing to do with this, here, let's sit down and do this, you know, and I'd feel comfortable doing it, but I don't know. I mean, I guess if everything's on the line, you wouldn't even do it anyways. Any attorney would tell you not to do it because, you know, one bad question, it could be possible guilt, but it's confusing to me right now. You know, him running the counties is really, really, really weird to me. It's just suspicious. And maybe he just ran because he knew she killed her and he didn't want to be around it. But, you know, no one looked for that baby. Danny, no one was out there. No one offered their time. No one talked to the news. That's what scares me the most. You know, when they're drunk as hell, yeah, they're talking to the news. They don't care. Anybody, you know, everything sounds good when you're drinking. But when they're sitting there sober in the house, locked up at 10 in the morning, you know, they're not coming out and speaking. That's the scary part. You know, that's the guilty conscience.
Even if Danny didn't say he had nothing to do with it, he's still guilty of seeing those kids with bruises and knowing that she put them there and he didn't do anything about it.
Exactly, locked down. Danny hasn't once said where, you know, I wonder where he ran off to. You know, that would be your first line at that kid if you knew he ran away. It's none of that coming out that guy's mouth. It's pack up and go, because I know something really bad happened at that house that night. You know, I don't even believe he went to work. I think he went to work knowing what happened, knowing that he was going to have to leave anyways and come back home. You know what I'm saying? That whole situation was I don't even know the word. Elliot, you know what I'm saying? Like he wanted to make sure he went to work. I was at work, but we all know that happened before that.
His alibi.
Alibi. There you go. He wanted to get the alibi, and that's the thing. He went to work knowing he had to turn around and come home. So he checked in. Oh, I just got a call. My baby's missing. Bam. Now I'm free. You know, he wanted to clear his name instantly, and that's the way he cleared his name. You know, now it's looking at Lonnie, but I think he has more to do with it than we all know. You know, I don't think he heard him, but I think he was there, and I think he played a factor, because you can pick up the phone and call 911 at any time. And the fact that he didn't is you're just
makes
as guilty
him guilty too.
Yep, that's how I see it. Billy Joe, you're just as guilty for allowing Leilani to be with the kids alone. You know, they all played a role in this crime, and it's 100% a crime.
100%. And one thing that never changes is every article says the last person to see him was Danny at 6 a.m. that morning. The last one to see someone, that's never good. So if I was him, I'm not saying speak to the news or to YouTubers. I'd be in constant communication with the police. Constant. Anything I could remember, if she went crazy train back in July, I'd be like, and I forgot to tell you, one time back in July, there was no toilet paper and she flipped out and started beating me in the head, man. I'd tell him everything.
100%. I'd be throwing. Go ahead, Joel. Sorry about that, Joel.
No, go ahead.
I would be 100%. I'd be right there with the police, working with them. You know what I'm saying? They're already obviously not together no more. So, you know, if you want to clear your name, you'd be sitting there every single question, anything they needed, I'd be right there with them. Because if that baby had any concern, if you had any concern for that baby, or if he meant anything to you, even just a little bit, you'd have some kind of concern if you worried about it, you know, and you'd be worried about your own situation being charged with a crime. But, you know, at this point, go ahead,
did it not ever go through Danny's head that she might do that to their daughter one day?
I've wondered that myself. I've wondered that myself, and people are like, well, he's not on the birth certificate. I've never seen the birth certificate, so I don't know. My understanding is Sky's last name is Youngkin. I've seen pictures of him at the hospital with holding her. So how did he get out of not being on the birth certificate? I don't know. I get really tired in these cases of birth certificate bingo. Who's on the birth certificate? Who's on the birth certificate? Who's on the birth certificate? Well, I know Billy's not. So Sky's left with Billy? And her own daddy didn't take her?
Hey, it's crazy, Lockdown. You're right. If the family's saying Danny killed him and Danny's saying she killed him, then I thought Danny could be talking at this point. Brooks, I think Danny could have left the county. They allowed him to leave the county because he was actually working with investigators. But at this point, if they both are pointing the finger at each other, you know how hard this case is going to be? If they're the last two and the babysitter's changing her story, you know how hard that's going to be? He did it. She did it. Well, the babysitter said he texted her. She texted her. Think about that in court. This is really going to get ugly, man. In Lockdown, I believe that's going to be the key to fuck up this whole case. Is that they're both pointing the fingers at each other and the babysitter can't get the story correct. That's why Court TV, that whatever Court TV got, if Court TV reported it correct, this is gonna be a very, very hard case to prove. Danny's the last one to see the baby, right? Danny left to work. Danny's saying that Leilani did it, possibly to investigators. Leilani and her family saying Danny possibly did it in the bathtub.
I could not believe that. Billy was not even anywhere near Savannah, Georgia. She was in Illinois. And that's her. Where did this come from? Where on earth? Is this just what she thinks happened? Or is Leilani telling her this? Leilani said the FBI told her that she doesn't remember. That is the most ludicrous thing I've just about ever heard. So while she's slaving over the stove, she's playing Martha Stewart in there. And he's, being a great stepdad. He's bathing the kids and he gets Zane out and Quentin drowns. That's the theory. That's a new theory that came out over the weekend. On top of, we hired a 24/7 nanny and didn't need Diana anymore. So in the hours you didn't need Diana, Quentin went missing. See, we have theories and answers. I shouldn't say answers. We have theories for everything except for, why are there specialized agents searching your local landfill? We don't have a theory on that one, do we?
They don't.
It's just sickening.
It is. It is. Brooks, I got to jump down.
Yep, I've kept you guys over 2 hours. I'm going to start shutting this down.
Okay, guys.
All right, Brooks, it was good seeing you again. Everybody, man, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't yet. And make sure you guys tune into the next show. Brooks, I appreciate you. It's been a while. Jules?
We missed you. We were asking in chat. I think it was just yesterday. They're like, where'd UFC go?
To be honest, I went on a gambling binge. So we were doing a lot of sports betting and stuff, me and a couple guys, and focused on that. So I won a lot of money, and now I'm back. How to pay the bills,
Cool. What do you play?
I bet soccer, international soccer. We crunch a lot of numbers. So we went 9-0 on Sunday. So between Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday so far this week, we won 9 straight games. So it's been a good time. It's time to call it a week, and collect.
That is awesome.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. And I appreciate you guys, man. I miss you. And I hope we get some justice here soon, or at least an arrest. Put some pressure on them, even if they let her go. Put her in handcuffs and make her feel that guilt. You know what I'm saying? When you're walking free, everything's good, and you have a bottle in your hand. But when they put those handcuffs on you, you're walking up the house, even if it's just for child endangerment, and she's gonna get out in a week, it's gonna make her feel. It's gonna put the pressure on her, and that's what I hope here soon. I really do.
Me too. Hang on, I got to read you this comment real quick. Lala HK said, it's nice to have a common sense male point of view sometimes. See, you can't be a stranger around here, UFC. We depend on you.
Yeah, I'll be back. It's just, I got caught in doing that stuff, and then it ended up being like 2 or 3 a day, and then we got 4 or 5 guys that I work with, so they ended up calling me, and we all do the same picks, and I don't know. You know how it goes. I'm an addicted person, guys. So once I started rolling on the sports, I was kind of stuck on it, crunching numbers and stuff. So, but yeah, I missed you guys, and I'll be back here every morning. Promise that.
All right, we're gonna hold you to it. See you.
Have a blessed day, guys. Love you.
Bye. All right, guys. Thanks for a great show. Hopefully, I didn't confuse things too much. I get busy talking, and you know, the gate had me confused. Billy looked 11 feet tall. Still don't know who ran down the driveway. Some say it's the aunt. Some say it's Leilani. Now that I think about it, Leilani wouldn't have the balls. She wouldn't have the balls. I want to find out if Court TV, if this was an error on their end or not. As far as Diana not standing by her original story about the bruises looking like they came from, you know, the belt and all that stuff, that could very well just be she is intimidated and doesn't want to be held to that story anymore because she's getting online hate and she's got people outside taking pictures of her house. We don't know. We don't know. We're all going to stick in here together, though. We're going to find out and figure all this out together. On Monday, it is Halloween. It is Halloween. Mark your calendars at 9 a.m. We are having our members Monster Mash. We're still doing true crime all the time. Don't worry. So it's going to be a lot of fun. So hit your reminder. Hit your reminder anyway. Make sure you're subbed anyway. Anyhow, thank you for being here every morning. Sometimes in the afternoon, sometimes in the evening. Sometimes we have 3 shows a day. You never know. Going to be back tomorrow morning talking about the disappearance of Michelle Reynolds. Anything that happens with Quentin, we'll jump in and do a live. Not a problem. Just me said hug your babies. Yep. Hug your babies. So I'll see you guys over in Discord in a little bit. Thanks for being the absolute coolest. Absolute coolest community and chat on YouTube. I'll see you guys tomorrow morning. Bye-bye.